So we do have a request for an adjustment, land development project and public informational meeting number 8. We're going to move to the top of the agenda. We have a lot of folks here on that, and we've received a number of letters. Bob, can you introduce this?
Yes, so this as you know, this is an application that's been filed for a land development project for a facility on Allens Avenue. We have received a request in writing today from John DeSimone, who's the attorney on behalf of the applicant. He is requesting a continuance of tonight's hearing to the March 17th, 2020 meeting. That would be 2 months from tonight.
Okay, March 17th. Commissioners, as you know, in our meeting materials, we also received a number of letters from community members, and we received a joint letter from several council people specifically asking for a continuance in order to have public informational meetings and discussions. I think given the interest in this case, that's appropriate. So I recommend that we approve the request for continuance.
I'll make a motion to continue the agenda item number 8 to the March 17th, 2020 meeting. Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor of continuing, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. All right, so again, hopefully any of you here for that matter made note of the date, same time, same place. It will be publicly advertised.
People would like to speak tonight on this.
We've already moved to continue it. We're not prepared to hear this. We don't have a stenographer.
It would be a simple majority vote to hear from the people tonight under the Open Meetings Act.
I don't think that's appropriate in this case, but thanks for the comment.
Well, it's not a comment, it's a request that you open a public hearing and you have a vote to do so under the Open Meetings Act as it's.
Under the rules and regulations of this board, there has to be a court stenographer here to open a public hearing, so they can't open the public hearing.
How are you doing the rest of the items on the agenda tonight?
The applicant's not in the room either to provide testimony or to present the applications.
But that wouldn't stop the people who did show up from being able to speak, would it?
I would suggest that you use the offer of your council people to organize the community meetings to learn more about the projects and have this dialogue in a format that can be a true conversation. I think there's a lot of information out there, and I think there's a lot to be gained from.
Just to be clear, you are then denying the people here a right to speak?
We are trying to give you the right to speak, but not at this particular hearing. We're not going to be hearing that application tonight. I think it's in everybody's interest to have that forum offline.
What other applications are you hearing tonight without a stenographer?
We've got the agenda.
Right, but there's no stenographer for those hearings, for those people
Every
either?
case is different.
Right, this one requires a stenographer, the rest do not.
That's correct.
I want to be clear on that because
Some require stenographers, some do not. We require the applicants to provide the stenographer for them, and it's not just the fact that there's no stenographer here for this item that it's being continued. It's being continued at the request of the applicant.
But the applicant doesn't decide whether these people can speak or not. How does the applicant have the right over their freedom of speech?
You are welcome to come to the March 17th meeting.
Oh, I'll be here, but I just wanted to know your reasoning on this.
Okay, I think we've explained the reasons.
No, you haven't. Not really.
Thank you. Yeah, no one believes that. You have not adequately explained why the people are not able to speak to you tonight on this important issue to them. Hi.
The applicant has requested a continuance. Your city councilors have requested a continuance.
We're requesting to be
We have
Thank you.
a requirement for stenographer that is not here.
It's
And it's generally the best
it's on them to
interest.
have a stenographer, not on you to have a
It's common
stenographer.
practice when we have an issue with this much information that that there can be community meetings so that you can talk freely. This format is a comment period.
Will
And
members
it
of this
does
board be at these
community
community meetings?
Right, of course not, because that would be a repeat of this meeting. This meeting is designed to hear comments. It is not a dialogue, it's not a community discussion. By having these offline, you have a greater chance to actually have a productive dialogue.
But
We can
members
see
of this board who
time
actually vote will
and
not be at the
time
community meetings.
Again, over many, many years of experience, that those community meetings are much more productive at having an equal exchange of information and getting
No.
your point across.
The members of
Who's
this
gonna
board
be
make the
there?
decision.
We want to know who's going to be there. They're going to vote on this. Who's going to be there so that they can hear us?
The people who vote will not be hearing from the community. Is that what's happening?
The opportunity to come back before this board, and everybody will have the right to give their comments on March 17th.
will that be on the agenda that it says actually public comment? Because it doesn't say public comment on the agenda
We just
tonight.
continued it to a date certain, and what that means is that we will hear that matter, and there will be a public hearing, and everybody who comes here and signs up will have a right to speak. That's how we are addressing your rights.
Madam Chair, Councilman Espinal, if I may, quickly, and this will probably help clear things up. So it'll be continued to March 17th. What are the chances that this could be postponed again? Is there a limits that you allow for postponement, or is that a definite that they will be here on the 17th? Because we will hate to find out the last minute that it's being postponed again. Do we have any clear indication on that?
I can address that. Thank you, Councilman. And you know, I'll say to everybody who's in this room, we appreciate that you took the time to come out here tonight, and we understand that it's frustrating that you don't have the opportunity to hear from the applicants and to testify on this matter. This happens from time to time with applications. For any number of reasons, applications can get continued. There are certain time frames that apply to applications that come before this body. In this case, if the applicant requests a continuance, those time frames stop. So to your question of could we prevent them from asking for another continuance? No, but it is the board's discretion to decide whether to continue or not. And if the board decides not to continue, it's incumbent on the applicant to present the application and then for the commission to take public testimony. The commission always has to weigh the property rights of the applicant against the regulations and the zoning ordinance that are in effect. And the commission always strives to present the material in such a way that it's intelligible to the public and to allow the public to comment. You know, unfortunately, this is not a sort of community forum. This is a quasi-judicial way of adjudicating an application with respect to the zoning ordinance and the comprehensive plan. So the commission is bound by the rules set forth in its regulations and set forth in state law. What I would suggest to you is that the commission, I understand that there's a lot of people here who don't have patience for the applicant and might think that the applicant is intentionally trying to frustrate them. This commission is subject to being frustrated just as well, and at some point, I would argue that the commission would deny a request for a continuance.
I just want to remind you, you work for the city of Providence, not for the applicant.
That's right.
And this is the city of Providence.
That's right.
I would like
to say what I'm hearing is that we're not allowed to speak tonight because there isn't somebody, it is not a stenographer to record if it were to be an open hearing. But we're not disallowed to raise our hands, everybody, for those of you who are opposing this port facility, Allen's Avenue LLC. Look at the solidarity in this group and look at where we come from, look at each other, because I think this is an opportunity for us to coalesce around the issues that are wrong and the issues that come forward to the Planning Commission, that there needs to be some kind of filters put in prior to these issues coming forward, these applications coming forward to them. There's not enough lead time for the community to coalesce. Linda Perry has done an amazing job at coalescing people around this issue. And so let's stand united. Let's talk to people. Let's meet somebody you don't know in this crowd. Say hello. So we're on a first name basis, and let's bring it forward. Thank you.
Thank you for that. All right, so I do encourage you to stay in the hallway if you're going to talk to each other. You're welcome, obviously, to stay for the rest of the agenda, but we're going to proceed with the rest of the items. Thank you all for coming. We do see you, and we will hear you. And we do thank all the people on the
Who's going
city
to be at the
council for
meeting?
their leadership.
Who's going to be there March 17th? I want to know, because I want to talk to everybody. How are they going to do a vote and not hear everything?
Again, we will have this hearing on March 17th.
Is everybody going to be, is a full board?
Everybody who shows up from the full board. We have 4 members of the 7-person board, so we need a quorum. Okay.
Thank you.
Moving on, thank you very much again. All right, so agenda number 1 is City Council referral number 3467.